Welcome,
Oh,
everybody, to Oregon Weight and Wellness live show on Mondays on Facebook. My name is Rachel Mattheos. I'm the certified health and wellness coach at Oregon Weight and Wellness. And with me, of course, always, we do this together, is
Dr. Julie Gilbert, and I am the medical director here at Oregon Weight and Wellness.
we are so glad you're here with us. We look forward to Mondays every day. And we want to remind you also that if you're watching live on Facebook, first of all, tell your friends, tell people you know, hey, they're live, check them out. Also, start to chat with us. We would love to see more interaction from you live. So if you have questions or comments, send us a quick hello so we know that you're there. But we really would like this to be somewhat a place for you to get knowledge, to feel supported and inspired, but also maybe have some questions answered and get some feedback and feel like you're part of this group, this part of this community. That's part of what we're doing here. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching live right now, shout out to us, say hello, let us know you're here. We would love to hear from you.
Right. We want to hear we do want to hear from you. So please give, and I'm watching the comments. This is a learned skill about looking at the camera and watching the comments, but I can do it. I can do it.
You got this.
So Rachel, I think last week I was telling you that I was getting back into my groove, because I had traveled a little bit and back into the groove. And it was really interesting. My re-entry took a lot longer than I thought. I'm like, what's going on here? And well, there's different reasons for that. We don't need to go into that. But I was thinking about just, keep on keeping on. What do you do when you wake up and maybe you don't feel super motivated? Yeah, what are some of the things that you think about when it's hard to keep on keeping on?
Yeah, that's a great question. We all hit that. My
Hmm.
first thought would be to check in and find out why. You
Yeah.
mentioned how it happened to you. For some of us, sometimes we hit a day and we just need to give ourselves some grace, to give
Hmm.
ourselves some compassion, um, and realize that maybe we lick our wounds for a day. Maybe it's a couple of
Hmm.
hours, maybe it's a half of a day, maybe it's a whole day. Sometimes it ends up being a couple of days. But I think that the most important thing is to check in and find out how we're doing every day so that we recapture it. We don't
Hmm.
wallow or stay in that. The resilience, right? We want to tap back into resilience, tap back into what do we want and why.
Hmm.
So one of the questions that I was actually talking about in group coaching last week with the groups is this question of what do I really want,
Yeah.
and what do I want right now, and how
Hmm.
do they compare? So what that means is, what do I really want? I might want better health, to get off some medications, to reverse chronic disease, to feel better, to move better, to lose weight. What do I want right now? Uh-oh. To not go out for my walk, to not go for my run or my swim,
To
to
eat a
not
bowl of ice cream.
to eat a bowl of ice cream. What do I want right now? And there's an inner battle, right? And to check in and say, well, what do I want right now? Yeah. And what do I want more than that?
Hmm.
Because what you really want, right? What we
Hmm.
really want is usually not what we want right now. Right now, what we want is to soothe, to comfort, to meet needs that haven't been met in other ways. And typically, we're looking for avoidance of discomfort, avoidance of pain. We're looking for comfort and ease and nothing changing. So that's a
Hmm.
hard part. So sometimes we choose what we want right now, and that's okay. We have to choose it. But ultimately, what do we really want? Where are we going? Right?
Right. Yeah, we want to choose it rather than we get drug in back, wait, I'm going to do this. Like, what? Wait.
Yeah.
We get drug away to do
Hmm.
somebody else's will, not our
Hmm.
own will.
Right.
So, right. I love that. Getting curious, asking why.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why do I feel like this? Because sometimes we can be pretty rebellious,
Yeah.
I love Gretchen Rubin's, our tendencies. We ask people to do that tendency quiz,
Mhm.
and I really like how helpful it is. Because sometimes we follow the rules, and some of us really are better at, and we can tend to be obligers. Some of us need more information, and then some of us are just downright rebellious.
Yeah.
And just like what you said. But when we ask those right questions or different questions or pose them a little bit differently, we can have some real like aha moments. And I love what you said, Rachel. What do I want now? And what do I want more?
What do I want more?
I love that question. That is a great question. What
Because
do I want more?
and what you're saying, Dr. Gilbert, is so it's perfectly coincides with that. They're both you.
Mm-hmm.
They are both
Yeah.
coming from a place of autonomy, and you're rebellious. Both voices are rebellion.
Yeah.
They're fighting for two different things. What do you want? Right? It's not Rachel telling you should do this or that. It's not Dr.
Right.
Gilbert saying you should do. What have you chosen? And own that. We talk a lot about identity, rewriting your story, no longer living a story that no longer serves you based from your past. And all of this is wrapped into identity. Who do I say I am?
Mm-hmm.
So oftentimes when I feel this struggle, I'll hear these different voices within me, and one will say, I want to eat my ice cream because I want to, right? And then I hear my other voice, the voice that I have nurtured and I have honed and I have worked with. It's not easy. It takes time and practice, just like lifting weights.
Right.
I hear her say, that's not who we are. That's not what we choose. Or there's a negotiation. Okay, let's choose that. But how about we add an extra 30 minutes to our walk? A little bit of a negotiation.
Right. Or it's like, okay, go ahead and take that bite, but maybe you don't need the next one.
Yeah.
Maybe you won't want the next one. Yeah.
Right.
Maybe one bite will be enough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There's this comparison with all the inner voices that talks about ways you could approach that you walk into the break room at work and there's a donut and there's an apple, and you walk in and you see them both there. What are the voices? What are all the different parts of you saying? And what you were just saying is, what if? So the curiosity voice would say, what if I ate half the apple and half the donut, or half like some couple bites of carrots, something healthy, and maybe just a bite of the donut. What if I, another way is thinking about our relational. Could I be a role model today, and how would that role model behave? Sometimes it's a self-sacrifice to be a role model for others.
Right. Yeah.
What if I chose the healthy option as a way of being a good role model for others? Anyway, there's lots of different ways to approach the good and the bad.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, I was thinking about something else too. Or you could say, a lot of times I think about, well, I could have that right now. I could choose that right now.
Yes.
But I could also wait a little while and have it later. I could delay my choice instead of denying myself completely.
Yes.
I can delay it, not deny. So I think of a lot of things that we choose not to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we choose not to run red lights, right?
Right.
We choose not to walk in front of in oncoming traffic. I mean, we choose not to do that. I can, I think, and there's not a whole heck of a lot of thought that goes into, oh, that's not going to be I could do it, but it's not going to serve me well if I did. Yeah. And so I think, well, this is a choice too. I'm going to choose not to eat this food that doesn't fuel and nourish and give my body the nutrients that it needs to make my cells function optimally. I could choose it, or maybe I choose one bite. So see what I'm saying? It's kind of,
it's all, and that all supports your autonomy, the rebellious. We all have that autonomy. In fact, whether you think you're rebellious or not, or where you fall in the Gretchen Rubin quiz, none of us want to be told what to do. We all want that choice of autonomy, right? Yeah. So what you're talking about is choice. We still have the choice. And I love what you said, Dr. Gilbert, the idea of flexibility. I can
Mhm.
choose that. I choose that later, right? I'm going to delay. So there's a flexibility to this choice.
Mhm.
It's
Mhm.
still on the table. It's still an option I can choose, and I have the right to do that. But it allows us to think and breathe for a minute and decide again later, do I still choose that?
Mhm.
Right. And why
Right.
am I choosing it in the moment? And anyway, the idea that choice gives space. We don't feel tightened in and blocked in by rules. We feel like
Mhm.
there's space to choose. So
Right.
there's a lot wrapped up with this. It's fascinating, but if we take the moment and breathe and think mindfully before we choose and kind of decide, I'm choosing right now what my
Mhm.
next step is.
Mhm. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and that's going to help us keep on keeping on, you
Yeah.
know. Then
Right.
that okay. All right. So I was going to tell you what I was going to have for dinner. And I love this. Rachel, you introduced me to this and I just love it. And this is available to anybody. You can go on that American College of Lifestyle Medicine,
Mhm.
Nutrition in Action, and they have a beautiful, colorful page of just all the building blocks for health coming from your food, and ideas in here, how to put it together. And so I'm going to do a burrito bowl today for my dinner.
Yes.
And yeah, and so, and I just love it because you start with the greens
Yep.
and which are so nutrient dense, and then have water and fiber with them, of course. And then I add my above ground vegetables, which are great. My source of protein, mine is probably going to be my protein source might be my grass finished beef today, but it doesn't have to. They have all kinds of great lentils or whatever. I'm getting more into lentils lately, by the way. I love them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I am going to put some sweet potato in there,
Ooh.
chopped up and into cubes and sauteed. And then I'm going to throw a little avocado in there. And then, oh, of course, cilantro and pepper and red pepper flakes and things like that. So that's what my dinner is. And I love this. And again, this is American College of Lifestyle Medicine,
Yeah.
how to make a nourish bowl. And it's just full of whole cellular health right here. So, and the beautiful thing about this is that I become I'm not eating processed food. I am the processor of the foods. So I'm asking my body to do everything to extract the nutrients that it needs, um, for
Yes.
my health. So it's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's an amazing guideline to help you remember the categories, right?
Right.
How to build sort of the perfect bowl or the perfect
Mhm.
plate,
Yeah.
pulling from every category.
Right. Right.
Um, and so that's what your dinner is tonight. Is that right?
That's right. That's what's for dinner
Yeah.
for me. How
So
about
that's
you?
it's very similar. That's funny that you say that. One of my favorite things is a stack sandwich. So
Mm.
it's kind of like a salad, but I usually will have a base piece of some sort of homemade whole wheat bread or some like a piece of Dave's Killer. I typically do an open face because I don't need two pieces of bread. I just
Mhm,
want
mhm,
one, right?
mhm.
But I do the same thing and I stack it. And I'm not kidding you. My sandwiches are typically this tall, and I'm just like,
Isn't that guy Dagwood? Isn't that Dagwood? Do you remember that comic strip Dagwood? He was always
no.
making these like sandwiches that are huge.
Yes, I love to see all the colors and all the different things, but I'm just like that. I'm like pulling from every category. So I'll start with, either some hummus or some avocado and sprinkle some hemp seed hearts. And then I'm going to put on there either my sliced tofu or maybe maybe I'm doing nuts and seeds for my protein source, and then tons of greens. And then I'm doing tomato and bell pepper and onion, and I might put some microgreens. I mean, it becomes this giant thing, but it feels so good. And I'm hitting all the categories, some spices to,
Mhm.
so we did a ton of grocery shopping this weekend, did a bunch of food prep yesterday. So I have pre-cut up celery, bell peppers, onions. I have hummus. I have avocado. Everything is kind of ready to go.
Mhm,
And I make
mhm.
like just a little buffet. So that's
Uh-huh.
dinner tonight. It's
That's
sort of
great.
big stack sandwiches. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. That's great. Okay, great. All right. Well, next time we will have one of our other physicians will join us,
Great.
and we'll introduce I'm not sure which one, but that's a little teaser to entice you to come back next time. But yeah, until next time on
Right.
What's for Dinner, just keep on keeping on. Keep on keeping on.
Choice by choice.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right,
Thank you.
guys.
All right.
See
Bye-bye.
ya.